Alright, so this is JAVIII.fx from JAVIII Empire, and in this video we're going to talk about the MT5 version. The thing with this is that it's not much different from the MT4. I mean, it should be some sort of upgrade. You find that the user interface is a little bit just slightly different, and it have a lot of, well, a few additional features, right, that the MT4 does not have. So right off the bat you can see the code section looking a little bit more advanced. Looking at the top up here, you see Euro USD. There's a number 2, and you have something beside that. That would be the spread. Alright, so for Euro USD, the spread is 2. Beside it now is a time, is a clock, it's a counter. You see 23, 20, 03. That right there is just simply showing you the 24-hour clock. So the day will close in less than 1 hour, right? And we see right now it is actually 3:20. So in 40 minutes the day should close. Above it you find percentages. Now sometimes you see as an investor people use percentages to follow the growth, like the account grows certain percentage, or in this case how much the currency grow in opposed to the previous day. So based on the day before, this go up like such percent, or it fall by such a percent in this day. Over on the right you show you the high and low of the daily candle. You see the L and you see the H, right? Show you the high and the low of the day, right? That's the high and low price of Euro USD. Alright, pause for a second, guys. I forgot to mention that on the right side where you see the larger numbers that are changing from blue to red and red to blue, these are actually the buying and the selling price, right? The same blue line and red line is seen in the main chart. If you subtract them, you realize that gives you the spread. Alright, let's continue. You can pretty much look for that. All the other pairs, all of them, they're pretty much the same. When you open it, automatically get an account, that's for sure. So we have a demo account, and it will be the same process to log into your live account as how you do with MT4. So you type in the broker server, and most cases when we use MT5 we use like derivative. Alright, you have some brokers where some of you guys may want to use MT5 with. You just type in the broker server, they will send this to your email, or probably see it on the back office. Once it find that, let me put in like IC market immediately. So I'll click that. Then this is an example, of course. You put in your login, your account number, and you put in a password. You just type in a password, and you can just click login after that. So that's just pretty much it. You see all the accounts that are here, right? They will present themselves here in this section. So we'll just go through the code section. I don't think you can swipe this, but you can tap whichever symbol or whichever currency pair you want to trade, and you will see new order, chart, properties, etc. You can see the chart from right there, or you can simply enter from right there, place a new order. Right, you can see the properties. It give you the certain details on the currency. I won't even get into all this because I pretty much said this in the MT4, but it give you different information pertaining to whatever currency pair you're actually looking at. I don't think there's anything else you really need to focus on here in that section, but you can change the simple mode. Simple mode looks weird to me, so I prefer the advanced mode. In the chart section now, you can see, of course, the price information. You can modify this in settings. Alright, so right now you see a circle coming on the screen. I just simply tap the screen. You can click the gear that's right here. This little thing right here is called the gear. Alright, I'm going to tap that and I'm taken to the settings. Now you can change a few things like the color scheme here. Right, so if you want your background to be like black, or you want your background to be white, you can change that. The bar of the candles, the stop levels, all that. You can modify the colors to your liking if you choose. You can add period separators or remove them, doesn't really matter. Alright, for me, in terms of color scheme, I don't like seeing the grid, so I will definitely put it to the same color as the background, which will take away the grid of my screen. So you realize that there is no grid, it's just a full black background. There are a number of things you can do from here in the chart section. You can click like the F, and then you see the different indicators that you can add to the screen and so on, and that's important right here. You can utilize the different time frame. You can switch from different time frame. I'm clicking H1, so I'm now on the 1 hour time frame. Switch to the 15-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame, etc. I can also click shapes and it will be taken to this shape section where I can use the vertical line. I'll use the trend line, the horizontal line. They're right here, of course. All of them, they're right here. So you can use those to add things to your chart. Outside of that, you don't really have to do this. And also, I don't want to just say that, alright, this is what everybody should know. But up here, you have the delete section. So once you add anything to your chart, let's say we'll add a horizontal line, and we're going over back to shapes, it's going to be right here. You see USD CHF horizontal line. You can simply delete it by clicking the bin up at the top right, and you just click that and you just remove it. Click the bin again to remove it. You can also use a crosshair, which is very important. I think this would be like somewhat of the upgrade to the MT4 version, where you can move around the crosshair on your screen, which is fine, it's nice. But one thing that I really like about the MT5 is that you can then move your other finger while holding down on one finger. You use the other finger to actually move, and it will show you how many pips you are seeing from one point to another, right? This is actually cool because this takes away what we will actually do using the what you call the price range on the trading view. So instead of using price range on trading view, we can use it on this, which is good. From down at the bottom here to up here, you can see that the price difference would be 17.3, which is 17.3 pips, right? And you go up, that's 21.0 pips. Go up some more, 25.4 pips. And I'm actually looking at this value right here to find the pips. This over here, which is a 16, that is just the amount of candles moving from left to right. Realize that it changes once I move to left from left to right, so it's just showing the amount of candles that it takes to go over to that side. Let's go over to the trade section, and it's nothing much different from what you will see on the MT4. Let me place a trade. Let me place like a sell trade. Alright, placing a sell trade. You show you the stop loss, take profit, swap, etc. Swipe to the left. You can close the trade using this right here. Right here, just simply click this and you close the trade. Alright. You say close with loss $9, such as click that and you close the trade. And that's that. Alright, let's enter again. Alright, so enter another one. The one beside it would be the pencil. As to how you can actually modify your order. Right, you can put in a stop loss price right here. You can put in a take profit price right here. Once this add modify button down here is highlighted, then you can modify your order. You can add position, which is good with this thing. So you can sell another one, and right there in this section, you go back to the add another position. You can sell again right there. Right, and you can also have the chart. You can actually view the chart there. You have multiple ways to get to whatever it is that you want to do. There is not one way to do anything at all using the MT4 or the MT5. And then over to the far right now of this, you'll see something similar to like depth of the market. Up at the top, it's showing you the same thing that you've been seeing when you tap the screen. See, I have like the cross here up there. You can find it up at the top. You have the F where you can add the indicators up there. You can switch between the currency pairs up here. Beside of that, now you can add the indicator window. You can add a new window down below. This is what is another cool thing with this though. You can add a different pair right here, and you can look at the chart as well down at the bottom. This is a feature that the MT4 does not have, right? You can switch between the currency pairs. You can look at GU while looking at USD CHF, and all the whole works. You can also delete it by holding down on that chart window, and you can add orders right there as well up at the top right. So it's a cool feature. Over on trade history just shows a different history. Now at this point, I know guys, all you already know most of these things that I've just mentioned, right? But for those who don't know, this is the reason I'm actually doing the video, so that you guys can probably pick up something else, but it's not much different from the MT4, right? It's just some additional features, like the crosshair and stuff that I showed you guys. There's not much apart from that. Alright, so that's it, guys. Catch me in the next video. Let me close these and show you how it looks while closing. And there we go. Those are now in history, right? Showing the profit, the deposit, the swap, the commission, and the balance. And that's it. Peace.